It's 8 in the morning, getting back on trail. Got 7 iron behind me. Joe just took us back to the trail after a nice breakfast at the Quality Inn. Today the idea is to get between, I don't know, 15 miles and 17 miles. It's supposed to be the last warm day. It might be 88 today, and then it drops down to 80. And that will be a huge relief, not being in the 90s. So I am rested, fed, clean, at least for a few moments. And now we're back on trail. Lots of climbing this morning. Just had a nice little break here at the Tom Leonard shelter. Since I'm carrying extra food, I'm just deciding to eat it all so I can stay fortified. Drank the last of my water. There's some more water in about 1.5 miles. And there's another shelter in about 5.5, and then a campsite in a little over 11. The way the day is going, since it's about 11:30, I think we might try to make the campsite. So today has been a lot of up and down, but nothing devastating. So the temperature is it's supposed to be 88 today, and I think it's about that now. But there's a little bit of a breeze and the humidity is a little less, and you can really tell. Well, my clothes are wet, they're not as dripping. So I think the sweating quotient is about maybe half of what it was, so that's great. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be 80. I look forward to it. So we got a couple miles more to go to the Mount Wilson North Shelter, which I don't plan to go to because it's well off trail, plus the water source is down the mountain. I'm going to try to make it to the old Shaker campsite. It's a campsite where a Shaker settlement was tried and failed. I section hiked this section southbound a couple years ago, and I remember, at least the time I got to that campsite, the mosquitoes were unbelievably thick. But I know it's a time of year thing. So I have one report on Far Out that said the mosquitoes are horrible, and then a week later It says the mosquitoes are no worse than they are anywhere else on trail. So hopefully they've died down. Otherwise it will be refuge in the tent for most of the time. Okay, we'll continue our ups and downs and make it to camp and see what the mosquito situation is. So I just checked the weather on my phone, and it always gives you the nearest town, which is Great Barrington. And it says that it's supposed to start getting some rain in 4 minutes. Doesn't really look like it, but I'm sure we'll get at least sprinkled on the way to the campsite, maybe setting up the tent. And then a little tiny spurt at 5 a.m., little chance, and then no more after that. So hopefully we can dodge this. Won't be too heavy anyway, and we can get set up. I heard my first roll of thunder and decided to put the pack cover on, and now I hear the rain coming through the trees. So might be bagging up the phone for a bit until the rain's over. Yeah, so the first little bit of rain wasn't much, a little sprinkle, but now the clouds are over, and I don't know if the camera can catch it, but it's like spooky dark in the forest. Wind is picking up, and I think here comes the rain. It just keeps getting darker. Gonna need a headlamp soon. Okay, now we're getting rained on. Doggies. That was one heck of a thunderstorm. Lasted an hour and just poured. Still dripping off the trees, and we still got light rain, but we're almost to the campsite. Hopefully we'll get a break in the rain to set up the tent. The trail turned into a stream. I took one slip and kind of eased myself down on one knee as I was sliding down the hill, and the knee buried up a couple inches in the mud. Took a while to clean up, but all in all, I think we're in good shape. Relatively dry, and now we'll get the phone back in the bag and get to the camp. 6 o'clock, and the Serenity Shuttle has landed at trail mile 1548 for an 18-mile day. And the final bit of it was through a pretty good downpour. Found one flat spot remaining here in the campsite, and the guy camping near it was gracious enough to allow me to pitch my tent fairly close to him, so I appreciate that. Went down and got water in the swamp, got in mud up to my ankles and had to wash my shoes off, but we're set for tonight. And while it's supposed to rain a little bit overnight, then tomorrow is supposed to be super nice. So we'll find a place to dry our stuff out tomorrow and make some good miles again. Got to get up to the ledges and see some views. And thanks for hiking with me, and remember, we're doing the impossible. That makes us mighty.